Welcome to Inside Texas Golf. Jeff Power and Jamie Ratliff joining you from here at Twin Creeks Country Club in Cedar Park, Texas, where we are overlooking the par 3 9th hole, 208 feet above the green. Nice and elevated around here.
Yeah, you know, the course designer Lee Schmidt said that this golf course is like it was carved out of nature. You know, the Lone Star State sure does have its fair share of beauty.
They've also got some great Ryder Cup captains in the Lone Star State. Ben Crenshaw, Tom Kite have bowled very well for the United States. So has Lee Trevino. We got a chance to catch up with all three. We talked about what makes them so proud to represent the red, white, and blue against the Europeans. The Ryder Cup. You had some profound words the night before the final day leading up to the greatest comeback in U.S. Ryder Cup history.
You know, it's funny, in the last month and a half, I've had talks again with Tom Lehman, Hal Sutton, and Hal Sutton's caddy, Freddie Bennett. Hal Sutton was the backbone of our team that week, and Tom Lehman led us out on the last day in such a convincing way. And those two guys played so well, those two guys had to lead and lead well for us to have a chance. And as convincing as their play was, it just absolutely bred a chain reaction with the rest of the team warming up on the range. Here comes Justin Leonard coming back from 4 down at the corner of the golf course, and he faces this putt that is not holeable. And the ball crept up the slope and went in the hole from 45 feet. I've never seen anything like it. What unfurled that day was some of the most explosive golf that I've ever seen. And it was a thing to witness. And I mean, the hair stood up on the back of my neck.
I have had the pleasure, I mean, I actually got to play for him when he was Ryder Cup captain in '85. And we played on a couple teams together before that, and we never got to play together. I don't know why. I guess we were a little bit different personalities.
They always put us. You were very aggressive, and you had no fear. And what happens? The captains knew. Like at the time I took Jerry Payne. Yeah. Jerry Payne, we were playing Walton Heath, and Jerry Payne had never won a point. He played in the Walker Cup, never won a point. And Dave Moore put him first round. He got beat. And he's a nervous wreck, you remember? And so he calls me in.
Probably the most talented guy on the team.
Oh, this guy was oozing with talent. So what they do is they grabbed me and Floyd, and he took me in the other room, and he says, "What am I going to do with Payne?" I said, "Put him with me." And he said, "What do you mean?" I said, "I'll caddy for the boy. The boy can play." I said, "I'll caddy for him." So he puts me with him the next day, and we're playing a 4-ball. And we're playing Faldo and Samton. We get on the first hole, and anybody ever played Walton Heath, there's a wall on the left of the first green. And I drove my ball down the right side. And then I walked over, and Payne's in the middle of the fairway. And he's very nervous, and he's sitting there. And he walks over, and he says, "Where'd you go? Where'd you go?" Remember this one? And I showed him the ball. I got it in my hand. Swear on a stack of Bible. I've got the ball in my hand. So he says, "Well, what are you doing?" I said, I had a bad lie where I didn't want to hurt myself. I picked it up. He said, "You picked it up?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Hit something in there." He said, "I'm going to cut a 4. I said, "You're going to cut a 4 off that wall? Are you crazy?" I said, "Hit a 5-iron with a little drop." Hits it like this. We won. You can look it up in the record. I think we won 4-3 or 5-4. I don't remember. We walked off. BBC interviewed us. And BBC comes over, and I said, I just want you to know one thing, that I'm playing with the greatest guy from the shoulders down that you've ever seen.
The Ryder Cup achievements as well. 7 times you were on the U.S. Ryder Cup team. 1997, you were the captain. What did that mean to you to be a part of that team and to be a part of that rivalry with the Europeans?
Well, when I first made it, it was really not much of a rivalry. My first Ryder Cup was in 1979, and that was the first year that Europe kind of got into the fold. Prior to that time, it was the U.S. versus Britain, and I mean, that was a thumping. I mean, that was, honestly, that was just, you knew the outcome of the Ryder Cup matches before you ever went over there. But in 1977, after the Ryder Cup there, Jack Nicklaus and Arnold Palmer really expressed some strong feelings at the Ryder Cup, all to include the players from Europe. And '79 was the first year that that was enacted. Now we won still big in 1979 and again in 1981, but you could kind of see what was starting to happen. The groundwork, the framework for what has now become the Ryder Cup was laid back then. And you know, from that point on, after 1981, it became a much more competitive matches, and it's a tremendous thrill to make a Ryder Cup team, much less play 7 of them. And then to be named captain of the Ryder Cup is a mark that I'm really proud of.
Now it's time to talk a little charity. Inside Texas Golf was recently at Falcon Head Golf Course, and we got a chance to tee it up at the J.L. Johnson Memorial Celebrity Golf Tournament. It was a good time for a good cause. What better way to celebrate Inside Texas Golf than with a golf tournament recognizing Texas Independence Day at Falcon Head Golf Course in Lakeway? For nearly a decade, the J.L. Johnson Memorial Celebrity Golf Tournament has helped raise money for scholarships in the Celebrate Texas program. J.L. Johnson was an Austin City Councilman and founder of Celebrate Texas. But you could say it's 175 years in the making, considering that's when Texas gained its independence.
The proceeds go toward helping the organization fulfill their mission, which is to provide scholarships for kids. We put on a parade every year. We do a reenactment ceremony. And we have kids write essays about Texas history. And then those essays are graded, and the winners receive scholarships.
Professional athletes like Al Matthews, who played for the Green Bay Packers in the early to mid-'70s, and coaches including David McWilliams, Dave Snyder, and Leon Black were on hand to tee it up for a good cause, celebrating Texas independence.
Yeah, coming out today and playing in the Texas Independence deal has been a great deal. I mean, Kirk does a great job on here, getting folks to come out here and play. I look forward to it. In fact, this is kind of my inaugural event for my golf season, so to speak, here. So this is always a great event.
Absolutely. This is one of the best tournaments that we love to play in. Enjoy playing with the guys that are sponsoring it, and we just have a lot of fun.
So hit them straight, remember the Alamo, and don't forget about Texas independence.
Trivia time.
Trivia time.
In our last show, we asked you which golf course hosted the 50th PGA Championship in 1968.
The answer, Pecan Valley Country Club in San Antonio. The winner received 2 free rounds of golf at Barton Creek Country Club. Well, coming up, we'll have this week's trivia plus much more. Inside Texas Golf continues from Cedar Park.
It is, yeah. That's my 3rd win here in Phoenix. So, like I said earlier in the week, I love coming out to the desert, and I hope we continue to be playing out here and have a tournament for many years to come out here. But yeah, I've definitely enjoyed my time over the last 16 years. And the way the courses are designed, you know where you have to hit it, and you know where you've got to hit it into the green. You know, I don't have any other secrets as to why I've played well out here. I've just always enjoyed the atmosphere out here. I've always appreciated how many people come out and watch. You know, it's always exciting to play in front of big crowds.
Good crowds, but the estimated 33,000 fans that came to Wildfire Golf Club near Scottsdale, Arizona for the 54-hole Founders Cup was down from the Phoenix LPGA International at Papago Golf Course in 2009, which drew 131,000 fans for that 72-hole event. So the bar has been raised, but with a new commissioner, the LPGA is trying to bring back the tour's popularity one tournament at a time.
You know, we've had our tough times, and we have throughout the history of the LPGA, and you know, I think we're gonna build from this event, and things can only improve.
Which native Texan holds the record for most consecutive victories on tour?
Email us your answer at trivia@InsideTexasGolf.com.
The winner will receive 2 free rounds of golf here at Twin Creeks Country Club.